15.
You're both fine. You turn 2 more of them and it starts to go. Brina, you obviously aren't strong enough to turn them, or you could try if you'd like to, but you haven't. So that's another Constitution saving throw, please. Has to happen faster.
18.
18.
8.
8.
15.
15. The 2 of you start hacking and coughing uncontrollably and both take... Oh, it's built up a bit, hasn't it? 7... 15 points of poison damage as it starts to fill your lungs and it's getting very, very toxic. There are 2 more pieces to go. You move the next
I'm
piece.
Do the same.
With disadvantage, you're coughing.
Can I help him and then will that count?
12.
If I help him.
You manage to turn the next one.
Can she help?
Can I help?
And negate the advantage. Yeah, if you're using your strength, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
So in that case, it's 22.
Cool. Kunk, kunk. You move the 2 pieces into place, make the water flow across the room. And as you do, a large hole in the ceiling opens above you and water starts pouring down into the room on top of you. I need you all to make a strength saving throw.
22.
17.
Unbelievable. Right, the 3 of you manage to hold your own against the walls of water just pouring down on top of you, but the room is now filling up with water. And you can't breathe in this air.
But we were all
Give
given
'em
water
potions.
breathing potions before we left. So...
If you'd like to take them now, it's just now be an opportune moment.
Yeah.
Do I have one?
Glug, glug, glug.
Yeah, everyone
in the
we
ship
all
has
got
one.
them
Hang on,
earlier.
you're clumsy. Do you have one?
I don't know.
It's up to you.
Probably not. I jumped off the side when I got teleported.
I have no magic to help you here, so good luck.
I think you've got one.
Okay, cool. I'll take
Your
that.
potion of water breathing lasts, and you both take yours.
Yeah.
You're still breathing water from the spell you had earlier. That's fine. So you can all breathe water for the time being, but the air that the water is coming around and the water filling up and the air bubble being pushed up is
We have to go.
We have to
very,
go up.
very definitely toxic air. So you don't want to breathe that in.
Oh. We
So-
don't have to go.
As the water fills around you, it starts filling up, and this bubble of toxic air starts being pushed up above you and away. Do you want to try and swim up?
Yeah.
Could we swim up so we're not breaking the air bubble?
Yeah, of course you can.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it.
What's everyone wearing?
Robes.
Oh, God.
Mr. Plate Armor. What's everyone wearing?
Chainmail.
Chainmail. Plate armor.
Robes.
Robes.
Wizard.
Brina's fine. Brina starts swimming straight up, and it's no problem at all. Lads, you are currently standing on the floor with a kind of...
Can I just start climbing up the walls instead? Spider-Man it.
You can make an athletics check, absolutely. Clumsy person.
I'm
Funnily
gonna.
enough, 20.
You manage to swim up. You can still swim in this chamber. It's hard going, but you manage to swim up and hang on and start pulling yourself up the side of this wall. Oz.
Swimming up, I get 16.
16. Okay, you're managing to hang on, but this is quite difficult, and if you're not careful, you might become exhausted, which is an effect that makes them do bad things.
Am I
love this.
above the lip or just on the lip?
You are climbing up into this thing above you, but it is very much the water is pushing up with this air bubble through a corridor straight above you. So it is straight up for quite some way. So you'll have to climb at least 2 or 3 more ability checks worth to get up to the top of this. If there was an alternative solution, I would suggest now thinking about it.
I can't take anyone with me for my dimension door, so
Jeff.
I'm going to stick with them.
Can you make us fly?
No, got none of that. It's not what Brina's character is. She's a rock gnome. Like,
I'm looking at what you're looking at. Yeah. I know what you've got.
Not doing it.
You're not doing it.
That'll put me in the fucking poison gas.
You're holding your breath.
I'll cast Water Walk on him.
Oh. You can affect more than one person with Water Walk.
I'll cast on both of us then.
Let me just check. I think it's 5 to 5, isn't it, Water Walk?
yeah, 5.
You could cast it on us all in theory.
Yep. It lasts an hour. I've got it. It
Yeah, you could
lasts
cast it on
an
all of us, that'd be
hour,
nice.
and it affects one person if you cast it at 3rd level. No, up to 10. My apologies. You can cast it on all 3 of them if you want.
Yeah, I'll cast it on all 3 of us.
Right. All 3 of you suddenly realise you are moving through this water upwards at quite a dramatic pace, like a cork coming out of the bottle, and all 3 of you pop out into this cloud of poison gas above you. You are currently holding your breath.
Can I?
Can I just stick my head under the water?
Yeah, because you can breathe water, absolutely
No.
can. So
Yeah.
Liabilitas kneels down on the surface of the water and smashes his head through it so he can breathe in the water.
Could I
Nice.
cast Wall of Force
Uh-huh.
around us and then put the poison gas on the other side of it?
How is the poison gas going to go on the other side of the wall of force?
Because I'm allowed to place things on it. I don't know if it'll work for that. That's why I'm asking. Because
I
don't
would
know
say
if it
that the
works
gas
for
is surrounding you completely in this air pocket, so unless you manage to find a way of getting you guys on the other side of the gas, no.
I'm going to cast protection from poison on myself.
I think you have advantage against. No, yeah, it's just resistance to poison, isn't it?
So it neutralizes all poisons that are currently affecting me,
You're not.
and I have saving throw advantage against being poisoned in future, as well as resistance against any poison that does affect me.
Okay, right. You have cast that on yourself. You are currently holding your breath. What's everyone's Constitution modifier?
I stop holding my breath as soon as I cast it. I mean, that's...
Do you want to keep rolling against it? That's fine.
Sure.
2.
Yeah, mine is also 2, so I'm going to have to breathe soon.
You guys can hold your breath in this fashion because you didn't get a chance to deep breath before it happened for a couple of rounds, but you're going to have to do something clever because you're breathing underwater. You can stick your head in the water. That's fine. You could do the same thing if you wanted, Bria.
Can I roll an Arcana check to see if the gas is magic?
Yeah, please do.
That's 28.
It's not magic. Oz, make one roll for me against it, and if you succeed on it, then you are resistant against it, and it's fine.
18 plus 5, 23.
Yeah, you're fine. This gas doesn't bother you anymore. You are completely sorted, and you can just stand in it and deal with it. It's not a problem at
I
all.
would like to walk over to these other 2 chumps and do the same to them.
It's 3 for...
Not like you just called them chumps, I didn't say that.
In his mind, he thinks you're chumps, but you don't know that. Please,
Check thoughts.
Can
No,
I
I'm
see if this
joking.
gas is flammable?
please do.
How do I do that?
It's probably an intelligence check, I'm guessing.
9.
Clearly.
I mean, sure, it probably is.
I'm going to come over to you and be like, I think I can help. And like blackness comes out of my hand and infuses with you, and suddenly it feels almost easier to breathe this.
Oh, I've got my head under the water.
Okay, you don't feel any of that.
I'm not under the water. I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, I come over to
Okay,
you
so
and do the
you've
same.
had this cast on you. You can now take a breath of the air, and you get advantage on the roll to see if you're all right.
Sure, I'll do that.
Cool.
Is it Constitution or
Yeah, 2 Constitution rolls and take
Saving
a higher
throws.
one. Saving throws, sorry.
do I get a bonus from him?
Plus 2.
Plus 2.
21.
Yeah, you're fine. You can breathe this. Not a problem at all.
Take a nice deep breath.
It tastes awful, but it's not affecting you in the way it should do.
Accidentally breathe out fire.
Are you Dragonborn?
He is a dragonborn. Liabilitas is a half dragon, half man. So he breathes fire sometimes.
You're just like, oh.
You burp and there's a fiery burp. We'll get to that in a second. Have you cast it on Brina
Yes,
as well?
I have.
Splendid. We'll make that roll.
18, 20, modify 20.
Modify 20. You too take a breath of this air, and it tastes sour and bitter, but you can breathe it without any worry about
Thank
getting
you.
poisoned. However,
With
poison
fire.
is the least of your worries, as... Well, that's a natural 20. Excellent. So, can you make your attack roll, please, with your fire breath? Do you have the stats for it?
Yes.
Splendid.
It is not a huge amount of damage.
You are currently lighting gas on fire. You tell me.
4.
You breathe out effectively 4 points of fire damage into this 10 by 10 foot cube that you're currently moving up through this temple like a bizarre elevator.
Can we duck underwater if there's water walk on us?
You can break through water with water walk on you. That's because you've stuck your head in. That's totally fine. But you'll
I
need to
would
make
like-
dexterity saving throws to do it before the flame explodes around you.
Yeah, I'm fine with doing that.
Yep.
I just wanted to know if I could.
Yep.
Do we get +2 on any saving throw?
Yes.
Yes.
That's good.
I rolled
that
a
is
1.
We'll get to you.
12.
12.
Oh, I need to do it for my...
Thank you.
15, which is the DC.
He's 15's your DC. 12, was it?
12 is my dex saving throw. Yeah.
Excellent. You go, oh dear, and jump and manage to get underwater as boomf, this entire cube of air suddenly explodes.
Shield? Will that work?
There's
No?
there's nothing
No?
to shield
No,
against.
fine.
It's just fire.
Fire
It's
everywhere.
just fire.
I'm small enough to make one.
20 points of fire damage to the two of you as this inferno of flame burns around. Also, physics fun. Because this is an enclosed space, you've effectively created a fire break, and you've now burned all the oxygen out of this space as well. So it's basically created a vacuum. So the two areas of water slam together as the water is sucked, holding this together, and you're all suddenly in the water again, able to breathe water because you've all taken the potions. You two are quite severely singed, probably looking a bit annoyed at him.
I want to make eye contact with him and quickly just pull out one of my superior healing potions and suck it out of the bottle. Like, angrily.
Another cool physics point, you can
Yeah.
drink underwater.
Can. Got to suck
You
it
hold
out.
the thumb in and then create a vacuum. It doesn't matter.
84
So,
plus
I
But I
put,
mean,
84 plus 8.
84 plus 8, yes.
I mean, at least they're out now as well, because they're underwater.
Yeah, you've solved the problem admirably by half murdering your two friends. That's a fantastic way of dealing
It's
with
not
the
like we
problem.
needed this air bubble to get around the temple. It's fine.
All breathe
So
water.
in this watery pain that I'm in,
Yep.
I pull out a pamphlet that just says "Think before you act" before it dissolves in the water.
Can we go back to the spooky music, please, Chloe? The threat is over, if you will.
Well, I think he's still alive.
True, liability is still there, so the threat is not over. You're all
Not a
now.
great roll.
You realise that with the water walk in effect, you've all managed to pull yourself back into the water, but there's no surface of water for you to walk on.
Yeah.
It is just literally water everywhere. Wouldn't drink it.
Yeah.
As you realise this, you realise the water walk spell is still in effect on you, but there's nowhere for you to go with it. It can't find a surface to push you to. So effectively, you are held in stasis in the middle of this 10-foot by 10-foot column corridor. And you can't really do anything.
Can we move up?
You can't with this spell. No, someone would have to dispel it, and then these guys would have to
Hang
climb.
on, what do you mean? We're just underwater, right?
You are currently underwater.
Yeah.
There is water everywhere. There is no obvious surface
We're
in
in a
sight.
column.
You're in a column of water, and you are currently sort of halfway up a corridor. Is probably the wrong word. A pillar, like a hole, a chute. Thank you. So halfway up a chute.
Freedom of movement, and I'm gonna start going upwards.
How does freedom of movement affect your weight and things?
It doesn't.
I'm going to check.
It stops me being in difficult terrain.
Water's technically not difficult terrain.
I think you're gonna have to do a GM call as to
You're
whether.
right. I'm just going to check what freedom of movement does. It's an interesting use of
I think
spell.
Leo
like that.
meant that let them do it so they didn't have to move with disadvantage and stuff.
Sure.
It just levelled it out.
Okay, let me just check it because it looks like that makes
It means
sense.
basically
I know what freedom
I
of
can
movement does,
attack
yeah.
people without it being like.
You can grab.
Yeah, here we go. Being underwater imposes no penalties on the target's movements or attacks. You cast it on yourself?
Yeah, and then I would like to go to these other people and cast it on them.
Thank you.
Excellent. So you are now effectively swimming as you would normally swim, despite wearing armour. It's a bit of a weird feeling, but it feels like the water's resistance against you is lessened. So all three of you can breathe water. All three of you can swim despite wearing armour. It's almost like we designed this well. So you can continue up if you'd like to.
I'm just very quickly message Darkness and go, I'm really sorry for being snappy. I've had a hard day.
You can respond to her.
We'll talk about this in a meeting later.
Sure.
Splendid.
You can bring a representative.
It's one sentence, I'm afraid.
No.
And at this
Yeah.
point, you're underwater, so you can't. Well, you can talk, but you'd have
The
to.
next bit goes blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Splendid. Good. So you can continue on if you'd like to. You will make your way up. What order are you going up in?
Me last.
I'll happily go in the front if nobody else does.
Okay.
Yep.
So you make your way. You following him?
Yeah.
Okay. And you wait till the very end and then go after them.
I'm a wizard.
I agree with that. Things may come from behind. As you make your way up, as you make as you make your way up this chute, the chute opens out, and you're in a very large room. It's about 100 feet by 50 feet by 50 feet. So
Which one's up? No, so which one's the long one?
the long one is lengthways.
Okay.
So it's a large rectangular room. There's light in here. There's not been light in this whole temple, but this room seems to be strangely lit. There's almost a mossy effect. It looks a little bit scummy. And it seems to be lighting the water in a sort of low green tinge. Anyone want to make perception checks? Have a look around the room?
Yes, please.
Uh-huh.
Natural 20.
Natural 1.
You can't see much in the helmet.
My bucket helmet's just gone round. Thank you.
There you go. Right, Rena, as you
I
have
see
a,
everything.
you see through time and space. Yes,
Yeah.
you rolled a natural 20. That is what happens. As you look around this completely water-filled room, couple of things.
Uh-oh.
On the one wall, so if it's a rectangular room, on the shorter wall, is what looks absolutely, definitely, 100% like a hatch.
Okay.
It's made of stone. There is a very definite opening mechanism. It's currently closed. On the wall opposite it, so on the other short wall of this rectangular room, is a circular pattern. You're not quite sure what to make of said circular pattern, but it is indeed something that could be toyed with, played with. You're not quite sure.
Can I swim over to it and have a look?
Yes, of course you can.
Is there anything else to see before?
Do you want to know what else there is to see? Because
Yeah,
you probably
sorry.
should.
Yeah, tell me all the things.
The water looks disgusting. It's all murky and green, and you're breathing it, which is grim, but it's not having any effect on you directly. It's clearly the water's gone a bit foul in here, and you're not quite sure why. It's also dark, very dark. Always dark. Dark, dark, dark. It's actually not, it's quite well lit in here. You can see in dim light, effectively, so that's the kind of vision range you have. And apart from that, there's not much else in the room.
What does darkness see with a 1?
The inside of his helmet.
I'll take some time.
I'm gonna point at them and go over to the circular pattern and then swim over there.
Cool.
Darkness stays standing there.
Well, floating.
I assume when you see we're gone from your helmet, you'll be alright.
Yeah.
You mean floating there, surely?
Can I just start dragging?
Absolutely. I mean, there's freedom of movement, so it's just like grabbing someone in the water and pulling them along. You let yourself
yeah, I
get
could
pulled, I
have done
presume.
that.
Yeah, you're all underwater, so you can move all around this room.
Sweet.
Let's have a look at the circular pattern. Can I have investigation checks from everyone, please?
22.
6.
16.
Well, it's our wizard again. Rena.
It's an intelligence skill, isn't
Yeah.
it? So
As you look at this pattern, there are very definite... It's not something with moving parts. It is very much drawn on the wall. It looks like there are rivulets cut into it, and they appear to be almost finger-sized.
how many are there?
There's 3, just creating a simple triple circle.
Okay.
What would everyone like to do?
So, just finger holes.
Well, they're
Wait.
rivulets about the size of a finger.
Put my finger on the hole.
Just
You put your finger on one of the
She
rivulets.
told me to, and she's
Okay,
the
so
master
it-
arcana person.
It's a circular pattern. So if you imagine a circle, you put your finger in a rivulet on the circle. What happens next? Nothing happens at the moment.
Hello?
Do you turn?
I'll see if it turns.
It is the most horrific, weird feeling you've ever had in your entire life as gravity shifts,
Oh.
as the entire room on its lengthway axis starts to rotate. There is no air bubble, so you can't feel where the air and water is at this point.
There are
But
3.
it does move. You feel the weight shift as you rotate this, as the room rotates lengthways. As you do this, behind you, the hatch slowly starts to open.
So, does it open any more if we leave it at that angle, or does it need to move around more?
It opens about a foot, not much.
Okay.
But I can get through that, but that's not fair. So, I'm going to stick my finger in and try and turn it a little bit more. I essentially want to get the hatch upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So
The
it falls open.
gravity continues to shift, and as gravity continues to shift, the hatch continues to open. As the hatch continues to open...
No, we're letting something out. You. Oh, God.
Can I have some battle music, please, Chloe?
Look, it's traps, so there's going to be a monster with every trap. We've
I
just
was
got
just
to
gonna
accept
ask.
this.
Yes.
I was going to get the Guardian of Faith to turn it. Like, I was going to cast that up.
I'm not sure Guardians of Faith can interact with things.
I
They're
not?
more like a sort of
No,
portable guard
They
tower.
hit things. Yeah.
As you open the hatch, suddenly out pops a humongous, gigantic monster with 3 large red eyes.
Uh-oh.
And in your minds, you all hear, "Free at last." So we enter combat.
Yeah.
Smooth
when you
move,
say
everybody.
Humongous. How humongous are we talking?
We are talking in D&D class terms, huge. It is about 15 by 15 foot. It's big. It's a big old fish monstery thing that has a little bit of a look of... Brina, can you make a history check before this happens, please?
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Is it magic?
No, it's history.
No, but I mean, is it a magical history?
It's just history.
15.
15. It looks a bit like the ancient old god from the first adventure.
Okay, considering all the character decisions I've made at this point, and Brina was in the first adventure, Brina is gonna freak out a little bit.
Good. That's exactly what I'd expect.
Yeah.
And in your voices, in your heads, you all hear, "Free at last." Right, who goes first? Brina, you go first.
Do I genuinely go
You
first?
genuinely go first. What would
Right,
you like to do?
so since I'm freaking out, this seems like the correct decision for character. Don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to cast Finger of Death, please.
What do I have to roll against?
Constitution, and my spell DC is 18,
Uh-huh.
which is pretty high now.
What about D20s?
I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see.
Well, that's... Yup. What am I trying to beat?
18. Did you beat it?
I did.
Well, that's half damage, so... And it's, like, you're taking at least 30, so...
Well, that's a start.
7, 13, 21.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame this isn't full, because goddamn. 22, 27, 33.
Mm-hmm.
40, 41, 71 points of necrotic damage halved.
71 halved is 35 as you
Wow.
round down. Good start. You hit it, and there's a very definite feeling from it, and there's a very definite feeling from it that it is not happy. However, it has legendary actions. It swipes you with its tail. What's your AC?
Sorry, I was looking up spell points again, because my AC is 14.
14. Oh, it rolled a 13. It lashes out with its tail and tries to hit you, but you are just out of its reach, and it goes flapping over you and misses.
Good.
Darkness. What would you like to do?
Darkness is... This thing is quite, like, it's almost like an abomination. It's, like, horrific with tentacles and eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Protection from Good and Evil on myself, which protects me against aberrant creatures.
What does it mean I can't do?
You have disadvantage on attack rolls against me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to look at my friends, and I say that loosely, and swim as hard as I can straight for this creature to try and distract it. Go between the eyes, flail around a bit. I'm not
Okay.
I don't think I can attack this time.
No,
just
you
that.
cast a spell. That's
Yep.
right. But you have flown into its face and are going, Jazz it.
Yeah.
Good, cool. No problem at all. Liabilitas. What would you like to do?
How far away is it?
At the moment, it's just swum into the room, so it's... What's the range on Finger of Death?
Oh, yeah, she's... it's like 60 feet.
60 feet. It's about 60 feet away.
Just in front of it,
Yep.
I'd like to put a blade barrier.
Ooh, okay. Tell me how that works.
So it is a vertical wall of razor-sharp blades. It is 100 feet long, 20 feet high, and 5 feet thick.
Are you putting it between Darkness and the creature?
Yes,
Not actually affecting the creature directly, just in the way.
in the way.
Okay, so
they
give me the
can't
dimensions of it again.
100 long, 20 up,
Mm-hmm.
and 5 thick.
So in a 100 by 50 room, people could go over it or under it.
Yeah, but it's
It's 15 foot wide. It wouldn't be able to do it that easily. But
yeah,
yes,
but I'll put it right in the center so that it can't like squeeze over the top or the bottom.
cool. So you have created a central blade barrier wall in the middle that stops it from actually coming any closer to you, which is a cool move. I appreciate that. No, I don't. Good. It's a good start. Excellent. Right. So you have managed to put a blade barrier in the way. You still have movement.
I would like to swim back as far as I can, hopefully out of the range of its whatever the fuck is attacking me with.
It hasn't attacked you yet.
But what has it got? Has it got tentacles?
It has many tentacles.
I'm going to back and fuck off.
Okay, you're backing off. You're backing off to that wall. You're now back at the wall next to the design that you were using earlier to open the hatch. So that is now behind you. It is now its turn. What am I going to do? So many choices. Right. Darkness. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Can I ask what it's trying to do? Because that will affect whether it...
What do you want? What can you be affected with?
Sorry, I can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by it, and...
Oh, you can't be.
Yeah,
You just can't be.
yeah.
It tries to affect you. It tries to affect your mind, doing something strange. You don't really know what it's doing, but it's definitely trying to affect your mind. However, it doesn't succeed in doing so.
Darkness will not be stopped. Except I'm underwater, so it's like...
It's all right. It can understand you and says, maybe next time. Actually talks this time, so there's very definitely something weird going on there. It is then going to make another tail swipe at Brina.
That seems fair.
It's going to have to go through the blade barrier to do that.
Okay, I need.
But it's going to make the attack anyway. Oh, that definitely hits you.
Sorry.
Shields?
What does shield give you? What's your armor
Plus
class
5?
with shield?
19.
Yeah, it still hits you.
Okay. Well, worth a try.
It was worth a try. Didn't work, though. You take 10, 14... Not yet. 19 points of damage as the tail flaps out and bats you. You flap back about 10 feet in this water. It is a definite hit.
It's not
What-
good, gang. It's
How
not
does the
good.
blade barrier affect me? What do I have to do?
So you have to make a dexterity saving throw,
Uh-huh.
and if you fail, you take a lot of slashing damage.
Make the dexterity saving throw first, because I'm not very dexterous. Just rolled a 20.
Yeah.
Didn't affect me.
Half a damage.
Flop. Oh, half damage, all right.
So 60-10.
60-10.
Wow.
18, 21, 25, 30, so 15 points.
15 points of
Slashing
damage.
damage. Cool, no problem.
So, as the creature reaches out and bats Brina, it also takes some cuts from the wall as it goes through it. Not as much as it could have done, but it's a start. Right. At this point, the room starts to do horrible things to you.
Oh, this
Seems
layer
fair.
action.
It's a
Seems
lair
right.
action.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You're far too happy.
I am having a wonderful day.
He is the
Insect
most
plates.
vindictive of our GMs, is Chris. So
I mean, that seems particularly harsh, but okay. Can I have the player's handbook?
no, you can't. Yeah.
I'm checking how to do a spell. The internet has told me that I need to buy a subscription to read. Right. Everyone make intelligence saving throws.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm fine.
Plus 10. 17.
I'm getting a +2 from you, right?
Yeah, 21.
6.
Oh, 19 then.
19, 21,
6.
6.
It's not feeble-minded, is it?
No, thank God. Liabilitas. All of the walls start to move and start crushing in. They're crushing in on everything around you. You get a distinct sense that this entire room is trying to compress and kill you. Despite the fact that your allies seem to be unaffected by this, in your mind it makes perfect sense and it's awful. You will have to make wisdom saving throws to do anything, literally do anything. Love it. Right. And it takes psychic damage. Write this one down so I've got it. Splendid. Thank you.
No problem.
You're welcome. Brina, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm going to try and hold this monster because it's gone so well in the past. The tail attack's kind of knocked some sense into her and she thinks she should probably be tactical.
Sure.
Wisdom saving throw against 18?
18. Oh, sorry.
What is that?
It's currently held in place.
Yeah!
It cannot take any physical actions.
Still going to take psychic, but I don't care.
Yup. Right. Brina.
Yeah.
No, not yet. We'll save it. Darkness. What would you like to do? It is currently. Brina's spell seems to have affected it. Seems to not be moving at the moment, but it's just behind the blade barrier.
There is a blade barrier. Can I go up and over the blade barrier?
Absolutely.
While going up and over, I'm going to say a brief prayer to my my god, the snake queen, the queen of snakes,
Snake mother. But yeah.
snake mother,
Mm.
whatever, some sort of snaky deity that I apparently have, and
She's a nice god.
She's lovely. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm going to say, please don't allow me to die this day. Bless my weapon so that I may strike true. And it begins to glow. I say glow, like it becomes encompassed with a black energy as I go around this blade barrier. And then at the last second, that's casting magic weapon on it. And then at the last second, I try and strike it with a divine smite.
Cool. Make an attack roll.
Is it held in place by the thing? I mean, is that going to help?
Technically, it means you get advantage on the attack roll, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
I rolled the same 3. So I got a total of 10 plus 3 is 13, 14, 14.
Okay.
14.
14. Excellent. Make a Constitution saving throw as you flail at the skin of this thing and don't get through with your pick.
He goes over the blade barrier, right?
Yeah, he went round it.
Okay, thank God.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
19. There's a mucousy effect around the creature.
Delicious.
As sort of a hideous sort of quality to it as you swipe at it, and as you're this close to it, You feel it coming into your lungs because you're breathing in the water.
It's
Doesn't
like
seem
one
to
of
have
those
any
horrible
effect.
eels.
Doesn't seem to have that much effect at the moment, though. It appears you've managed to save against it. So for now, it's fine, but I would be very careful being this close to it in future. Liabilitas. Your blade barrier is in place. Is a concentration spell.
It just says 10 minutes.
Okay. In the meantime, what do you want to do?
I wanted to cast Beacon of Hope.
What does Beacon of Hope do?
Well, it gives advantage on saving throws and death saving throws, and regains the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing.
How many people can you affect with it?
There's any number of creatures within the range.
What is range on it?
30 feet.
30 feet.
Cool. You're currently against the back wall. They are currently ahead of you near the blade barrier. You'd have to swim a lot closer to be able to affect them with that.
So, like you're 60 feet away, and you just go there. And then
Also, your blade barrier is concentration.
Is it concentration? Oh, yes, it is there.
Yeah, so it would
Yep.
drop if you cast that.
We'll drop if you cast this. Actually, no, this isn't a concentration. Is that a concentration spell as well?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, you can if you want, but the blade barrier will go away. It can't move at the moment. Maybe that's a good idea.
I still have to do it.
Yes.
I'll try and guiding bolt it.
You're guiding bolt it. Go for it.
I'll have to make a wisdom saving throw.
You do have to make a wisdom saving throw first, as the walls start to crush in on you.
Is he close enough for the aura thing?
No, I'm
Nope.
way away.
No,
Way away now.
20, not made up to.
20. You can act. There's definite something affecting your mind, but you can still act. So if you want to cast a spell, please do.
I'll guiding bolt it.
Okay.
I'll check out what that does.
I got it. Don't worry. Roll an attack roll. So you need to make a spell attack roll to hit with a guiding bolt.
16.
16.
Yes.
You fire off your guiding bolt and it shoots out. Despite the fact that this thing is held in place, spell attack doesn't get advantage. Goes around it. Doesn't hit.
Oh, great.
You are, at the moment, not being able to do much with that. At which point, it is the creature's turn. And this time, it's looking at you, Liabilitas. It's looking at you. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
26.
We're good today.
Once again, it does not affect you.
I feel against a giant eldritch horror from beyond time. I think we're pretty alright right now.
You're doing all right, yeah. You're doing
Yeah.
pretty much all right, yeah. Try and write good adventures. Right, so...
It's a good adventure.
Yeah, we're
because
having
winning
fun.
right now, yeah.
I'm not. Right. At which point you feel this energy wash over you. It's trying to affect your mind again, but you manage to resist it with your holy power. Who's your god of... Who's your...
Poseidon.
Poseidon, sure. The power of Poseidon means you can hold that back. It's a good thing you're underwater. It works better there. Thank you. At which point... I need you two to make the intelligence saving throw again, please.
18.
23.
Yet again,
I have plus 10 on this, plus is plus 2.
yet again, it doesn't seem to affect you at all. Hate fighting paladins. Okay, the lair has tried to do something. It hasn't done anything. Brina, what would you like to do?
I'm going to carry on holding this monster. I don't want to spend loads of like, it's an eldritch abomination.
Hold monster. How long do I have to roll against hold monster?
Yeah, you do. Wisdom saving throw, sorry.
He's no longer affected by hold monster. Thank
Cool.
heavens. Good.
Let's burn some spell points.
He starts moving again.
Yep. How far away am I from it right now?
About 30 feet.
About 30 feet. Okay, I'm going to cast Blight, please. Constitution saving throw.
Cool. What do I have to beat?
18.
I've beaten it.
Beat it. Right, okay, so that's half damage.
What does this look like? Is it like covered in disease or something?
Sorry, I'm just adding.
Is blight necrotic damage?
Blight is necrotic damage.
Finger of Death is also necrotic damage,
It
right?
is, yes.
Cool, that's fine.
So essentially, Blight is, you know, your void around your pickaxe?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens to this creature. So just enveloping it in like this void energy. And I've
Nice.
done 3 rolls. I've got 5 left. 23, 28, 35.
Mm-hmm.
That was 6 rolls. 41, 48. So half that, 24 necrotic damage.
24 necrotic damage.
Yep.
No problem. Hit points for days. Darkness, what would you like to do?
I'm in front of it. It's starting to move again, and
Yep.
the one thing that it's shown us constantly is the eye, and I would like to, proper sort of Greek hero style, go for one of the eyes.
You're going to pickaxe the eye.
Yeah, why not?
Pickaxe the eye, my friend. Pickaxe the eye.
That was a 2. I did worse than last time.
You swim across. Your pickaxe is ready. You know what you want to do. He's charging it with holy energy again. You're trying to power it up and get it going. But you just swing in, and as you do, it closes the eyelid and bonk, it bounces off the eyelid to no effect. I need a Constitution saving throw from you again, please.
I rolled a 1. These are where the bag rolls are going.
Darkness. You feel a disease affect you from this mucus cloud that you're
I'm
breathing
immune to
in.
disease. Paladins.
Darkness. You feel a disease try and sweep over you again, and once again, it doesn't affect you. It's almost like you were born to fight this creature. And with that, we're going to end this hour of Adventurers Wanted. Thank you very much for coming. I'll hand over to Chloe, who will lead us out. I hate you so much right now.
Thank you everyone for coming. We are doing this from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the Fringe, apart from the 24th and 25th. We are also live streaming the whole thing on twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted. If you want to keep up from afar, you can also look at our Twitter feed, which is live tweeting at Adventurers250. Though you're also more than welcome to come back and see where the adventure goes. You can also buy player tickets to get involved yourselves. Player tickets are only available from Suite. Audience ones are available from Fringe. I don't know if anyone's got any shows they would like to plug.
Oz is plugging his entire life, so let's have Oz plug.
I also want to plug a French show.
Hi, my name is Oz Mills, and I run a role-playing stream online. I usually take his role, dungeon mastering, for Dragon Age, Dungeons & Dragons, and a variety of others as we continue. That can be found at twitch.tv/OzMills. I archive them at youtube.com/OzMills, and updates can be found at twitter.com/OzMills. And the aim of the whole stream is to try and increase the visibility and representation of women in the role-playing game space.
Yeah, props to that.
Thank you. All right, cool. And I would like to plug my friends Katie and Jay. They're the next best thing, and they are going to teach you how to be good at everything if you go to their show.
Nice.
Yeah, it's on at the Pleasance Courtyard, venue 33, at 5:45 every single day. It's an hour long, and it's honestly, if you like surreal comedy, it's hilarious.
There you go.
Sorry, quickly, I do have business cards down there if you would like to take them away and look up stuff.
Cool. We've now got a quick turnaround to get to our next hour, so it's just where you came. But thank you again for coming, and have a lovely day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
It's not my fault.
So mad right